right, guys, here's the deal. I'm going to start off this podcast by saying if you are watching the podcast on YouTube, because it is on YouTube, it's called the Midwest Flyways Podcast, you will realize that Cal and I have switched seats today. And let me tell you why that's a big deal. Because I love putting my feet up on the table, and I'm trying to not do that here.
Right.
I have a problem, and I think it's back problems.
And actually, I want to say one thing I'm noticing in this chair.
Yes.
Because of the leaning, it feels like the chair's got a slight tilt to maybe to the left a little right now. and there's like, I didn't ever notice this, but like,
oh yeah, no, it's been rubbing.
It's been rubbing? Oh no, it doesn't rub.
It's rubbing.
It stays right here.
I'm not rubbing.
You're rubbing.
I'm not rubbing the wall. The chair is rubbing the wall.
Right.
Now, the chair is rubbing through me.
Yes.
Now, do you rub yourself? Yes.
No marks on the wall.
You
from
rub
that.
yourself, though, don't you?
No marks on the wall from that.
And that's okay.
So, it's fine.
There's different kinds of marks on the wall from that.
Yeah.
So
anyway, thank you for opening up the podcast, Joey. We have your host, Joey Vassallo, with you today.
What's up?
And we have Cal Ness and Carter Denies here as well.
Yep.
And this podcast is brought to you by First Light. And Joey and I are getting ready to go and hunt with some of our buddies from First Light. So we're pretty excited to show them all of the ins and outs, per se, of the things that we've been learning about the gear throughout the year, which is something we're excited about.
And the changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pretty stoked
making
about
stuff better.
I'm not even kidding you, dude. That's probably one of the coolest things of helping them out is being like, hey, this is a little too tight around my forearm. Oh, yeah, for sure. Change it. Yeah. I don't like where this is at. Oh, yeah, we'll change it. It's like every time it's like, oh, and they write it down.
Right.
I love that. It's so cool.
They probably legitimately, like every time, I don't know why it is, but whenever we're on the phone and we're like giving them critiques, I just have this very funny vision of them writing it all down. And then as soon as we get off the phone, they throw it in the garbage. Just like,
they're from the Midwest.
Yeah. And then they take it like, okay. So, no. But anyway, okay, Carter, let's get some intro music.
Dude, I always think of The Princess Diaries, where she answers the phone. It's like, bing. Or, oh, sorry, I totally messed it up. He goes, Gupta. The Queen is coming to Grove High School.
I don't think that's Princess.
It's Princess Diaries.
Princess Diaries?
Yeah,
okay.
with Anne Hathaway.
Okay.
Dude, that movie is so dumb and so
Gupta.
funny. Gupta. The Queen is coming
So
to Grove
fun.
High School.
That's unbelievable.
Carter's definitely not seen it.
Nope.
No.
Because that probably came out when he was born.
Dude,
20-year-old?
did you see I bought Warriors?
Yes.
Dude.
Yes.
I was walking by in Walmart and they have the $5 movie bins or whatever. And there was right on top in all its glory. It's like, Warriors.
Had to.
And I had to buy it because Carter hasn't seen it. So I'm kind of thinking that'll be something we'll have to do one of these nights. Watch a couple of good movies with Carter.
No, 100%. We have to culture the boy.
Yeah.
We have to culture the little Western Minnesota boy.
Actually, dude.
Not so little, but we have to culture him.
Speaking of culturing him.
Uh-oh.
We need to make him do an accent.
Yep.
I don't have one.
No. Carter.
I don't. Japanese.
Carter.
Immediately.
Carter. Carter,
don't
do
have
an
one.
accent.
Immediately.
Carter, can you do like redneck from the south?
No, I don't. I've never tried one. I'm
You
not.
can't do southern accent.
I just need to hear it. Maybe I'll.
I just need a little bit of an accent here so I can work on something. It's not going to be easy, but, a little southern accent never hurt nobody. Now Carter did it.
That's actually Texas.
There you go.
Little. Yeah. Yeah. No.
Now, listen here, Carter. That wasn't such a good effort, but I'll let you try just
got
one
one word.
more time, brother.
Listen here. Hey, buddy. You got one word out. Now we're going to need more than one from you.
More than one, brother.
Hey, buddy.
That's pretty good.
That's
dude.
not bad.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
That was
Keep it
2
going.
words.
Hey, buddy, we're going to need another one from you right now.
Hey, buddy.
It's because you're doing it, bro. You're doing it,
You're
dude.
so good.
Do it.
You're doing
You're
it,
so
dude.
good.
You're
No,
doing it.
it is
Listen,
so bad.
You say what I say.
You're
Say,
doing so good, dude.
Hey, buddy, listen, we're going to need one more effort from you here.
Hey, buddy. Can't do
Here,
it.
let's try this. Let's try this. I don't care what you saw when you came in the trailer. I wasn't fucking my sister.
Can you just say, just say. Hey, buddy, one more try. Say that. Just get it out, bro. Hey, listen, man, one more try is all I'm going to need from you.
Listen, man, one more try.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's
Pretty
it's
good.
not
That's
good.
pretty good, dude. Hey, if you're listening from the South, tell Carter that was not that bad.
No, don't.
Hey, listen here. You don't tell him that. I'm going to be pissed.
We're canceled. When we were down in Arkansas, Logan's one of the people at the camp was like, "How long are you guys here for? Tuesday?
Tuesday.
I'm like, "Oh my god, I love that Tuesday."
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
The best part about all the accents is just they speak differently. There's different mannerisms, you know? Like, one more try. Now, you would never say it like that in Minnesota, but they say it like that.
Yeah.
And Tuesday, you'd never say that for damn sure.
What I've really noticed about Southern accents, and this isn't a dig, by the way. It's not a dig. It's just a lot slower, you know, and I find myself wanting to finish people's sentences for them, and that's very rude. You don't do that. You sit there and you listen, and you wait for them to finish it.
Yeah, they do speak at a different rate of pace.
Everything's at a different pace down south.
Mm-hmm.
And again, no hate. Love ya.
Right. And we definitely, I mean, I don't think we have as bad of a northern accent, but I have heard, guys, that it's unbelievable.
Well, Jake Whiteman, for starters.
Oh, my God.
Joey. Joseph.
Bye. Whoa.
Oh, we're shooting some mallards.
Meow. Dude, it is tough, though, with some of the girls say big, and and I hear it all the
Big.
time. You can hear it from a mile away. Well, I was shopping with all my bigs. And you're like, what is that? Why are you doing that, dude?
I've noticed that I will, I like to think of myself as a chameleon, and I wish I wasn't like this, but
Sure.
I start to...
pick up the accents?
I really start to pick it up, and it's not good. What does that say about me? I don't know who I am as a person?
No, it just says you love
I just
accents.
start saying Tuesday?
You just love accents.
Y'all.
I'm not going to lie, dude. When I talk to Wade on the phone, sometimes, Annie will be like, "Is that Wade?" I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Yeah, you're using slight southern accent." Like, that's not true. But I think it is, though, true. I think it is true.
Speaking
it just
of,
happens incidentally.
I'm so sorry to change this unbelievable subject, but look at this picture of my dad.
Yeah.
Refuses to smile in any pictures.
Right. Why is that?
Unbelievable.
Why
Had
doesn't
a
he
great hunt. And he's just like...
Right.
To see it, you can go to the Midwest Flyways podcast YouTube channel.
There you go.
Subscribe
Carter.
while you're
Nice.
there.
That's
Plug
true.
that.
Yeah, we had a 2-man limit of spoonies in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Lit.
Actually, dude, you're plug god now. Okay? Connor used to do this. He used to be plug god. He used to bring up anything that we had going on that people could go check out. That's your job now.
Well, you can try to get merch eventually.
If you need an extra large, I think we got a couple of them laying
We
around.
got a lot of extra larges. And we'll give them to you at a discounted rate, which means full price.
Whoa, dude.
Because we broke.
Full price. I was
'Cause
going
we
to say.
broke, bruh.
We do the opposite of sales. We actually run a sale all the time at normal price. Then every once in a while, for funsies.
No, we did
just,
what everyone did for Black Friday.
We just hiked the
Did you
price
see
up.
that shit?
No.
Dude, right before Black Friday, you could see it on Amazon. People would raise the price like a month before.
So that
When Black Friday came around, it was at normal price. And it's like, you piece of shit. And
That's
people were
fucked
even at Best Buy, and they would say Black Friday sale, and they'd lift up the card.
Same price.
Same price.
It's insane.
That's what it's always been. That's what we did in retail. Like when I worked at Verizon. Same thing.
You really did that?
Yeah.
Damn, dude, you're shady, bro.
I didn't run the Verizon.
Carter was doing it himself.
Yeah. I was
Did you even
skimming
ask him?
profits.
He was like, wait till you see what I got going. Dude, do you have 2 beers right now?
Yeah, one's open and one's ready to
Can
go.
I have one?
Sure.
Can I have that one?
Have an outlaw.
Do you
dude.
have any more in the freezer?
No, they're in the fridge.
Do you want me to put a couple in the freezer for you?
That'd be great.
Got you.
Right now, please.
No problem. Maybe while you're doing that, you could talk about this delicious beer sponsor that just had a clip go viral with us.
I'm good.
Okay, sounds good. Appreciate that. Is that an ice chipper in there or a screwdriver?
Screwdriver used as an ice chipper.
Got it.
I tried.
Dude, here's a good question. How much do you think it actually ended up costing us to build that trailer blind or that pontoon blind?
Under 1,000. No, you don't think so?
No.
Why?
Well, the pontoon alone was how much?
$250.
And then we had how much to buy a tire for it?
Oh, that whole trip was probably like 300. And then materials were probably like 600. So 1,200.
Okay. No, you don't think it was more than that with like Tyvek and spray painting and all that shit?
Well, I didn't spray paint it.
Well, I know, but
No.
No?
I did like a mental checklist, and it was like paid $130 for plywood, and then the rest I had laying around.
Yeah, and then we made like, what, at least one trip, if not two, to Menards. I know one of them was like $300, and then you bought that spray foam. I think it was. I guess my mental math got us closer to like 15 or $2,000, but either way,
Okay.
yeah. That's pretty cheap though. I was fucking mind fucked when we went to Lake Catahoula. I mean, what, dude? And Wade was like, "It's all public." I'm like, "What do you mean it's all public?" He's like, "Yeah, it literally is just like if you build a blind out here, then you just kind of protect your domain. Like, you know, people either come or they don't. And, you know, people get shot at out here." I was like, "What? That's insane." So this is a public lake. People literally just went around building wood structures all over on the lake. And then if you go and you hunt in their wood structure on public land that they literally don't own, then they'll come after you like you went on their private property. That's crazy. Dude, I mean, the South is just one good gunfight from chaos.
It's so different than up here.
It's so different, yeah.
So different. I mean, like, look at the public boat launch down there in the woods. People go hard. You know, and now they've changed rules to where it's not like that anymore, but it's just different.
Different, dude.
It's different. This podcast is brought to you by Abbreviations. We've been talking about it for 2 years now. We've been killing a lot of birds with it consistently. The stack load is incredible, especially for the 20 gauge. It just bangs them up. And now they have the Timber Plus load, and it is just ridiculous. So go check out Abbreviations. There's not a whole lot out there because it keeps getting bought, so go find it while you can.
Right on. Okay, let's talk about the pontoon that we barely got out of the water, Joe. That it actually, I mean, technically, is still in the water a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll get you a beer. You can start.
So we put out this this pontoon blind, and we had some flooded corn right next to it, and so the birds weren't really liking the pontoon versus the flooded corn, naturally. And so we decided to go out there before the ice gets thick, and we're like, we should take this off right now. Because we don't know if the ice is going to shelf into the pontoons and then destroy our $1,500 to $2,000 blind.
Bingo.
Right? Cal calls me the night before and goes, "Hey, family emergency, can't go." And I'm like, okay, well, that sucks because it's going to be cold and we're about to go to Arkansas, you know? And so then I'm thinking, oh, I can call all my really good friends, and I'm thinking, I don't want to owe these guys that favor. You know, like, hey, help us get this pontoon off the water that's from the 1920s.
Definitely not from the 20s.
You know,
it's
from
old.
the 30s or 40s. The trailer has never had lights on it. So let's just date that how you will. You know?
Sure.
I'm guessing 20 to 40s.
Absolutely not. But, dude, there's no way. That thing is from, like, the 70s.
Carter, can you look up when trailer lights were mandatory?
Yeah, sure can.
That's good.
I bet it's not until, like, 80-something. Either way. Okay. So, yes, continue. You're right.
Sorry. There's a lot of foam there.
Yeah. I hear you.
So anyway, we come to look at the pontoon completely covered in ice, and we're like, oh, no. So Cal and I put our waders on, and we have this huge game plan. We're like, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. I bought a Polzol, which is an electric winch that you can plug in to an electrical outlet. We had like 300 feet of electrical cord, and wasn't enough for starter. And then we thought we could put torque screws into the ice and use that to pull the pontoon up onto the ice and all the way to the homemade launch that we have there. Wrong.
Which I will say, I actually think could have potentially worked,
If it
but
was
we needed
thicker.
like 12 inches of ice. That's what I learned about that situation. If you can't drive an ATV out there, then you're definitely not pulling the pontoon with the poles all up onto it.
Correct. And so whatever, we monkeyed around. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the term monkey fucking a football, but that's what we looked like out there. It didn't look super professional, even though we went in there with a hell of a game plan.
All right, me and Joey go in there, dude. Joey's like, "Oh yeah, no, it's not that bad, dude. We're gonna be able to just break this ice and then get it over there." And
I was right for about
20 feet.
I was gonna say 50.
Okay, I think 50 would have been generous, but that's fine. So me and Joey are out there. We are humping the shit out of this boat, dude, trying to move it. Literally
dry humping it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were able to get to a place where Joey acted like he was the world's strongest man and then pushed the back of the pontoon down, and then I was the second world's strongest man and lifted the pontoon up onto the ice shelf. And somehow this actually worked. So we were able to get the front of the pontoon up onto the ice, and then me and Joey both got behind. Stop doing that in your teal blue shirt. So me and Joey, we are behind the pontoon now, and we're pushing it. And I'm not shitting you. Here's how this looks: us counting to 3, and then humping this boat as hard as we can and pushing it. And I'm not shitting you. Every time we would hit this pontoon and push it, it would go, approximately, what do you think, Joe? 3 feet? Maybe 2 feet?
Yeah. Well, and the cool part about this, too, is when we got it, so, like, we couldn't break through the ice because it was 3.5 inches thick.
Right. 4 inches in some spots, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's too thick. And so we would get it up on the ice, and it would break the ice, and then we'd be behind it. And the front of the pontoons is not flat underneath, right? It's like an icebreaker. So you break the waves, and it makes the boat glide through the water better. When you're trying to push it on ice,
that's not helpful.
It's not helpful.
Right.
You know, it's really good for buoyancy, not good for ice.
Mm-hmm. The pontoon is not a natural skid on ice. That's
why people winterize it.
Right.
You know, they don't try to take it out in December.
What they do, though, when they winterize it, usually is on some type of crank lift or something, so it's up out of the water. You know, people don't just let it sit on the water. Mm. Well, you know, here's the thing. Honestly, when we got this pontoon and we put it in that water, I actually thought it was staying there the whole year. Like, my mentality in the beginning, because I didn't know of the conversations you had had with Jeff about pulling it out or anything. So, no lie, when Joey called me and was like, we got to get this out. We got to get this out. I was like, are you, what? What the fuck do you mean we got to get this out? And I'm not going to lie, at this point, it was already freezing. Like, it was pretty cold when we had the combo to start.
Yeah, it was cold.
It was frozen.
It was a little cold outside.
So I was like, what do you mean, man? And Joey's like, no, yeah, but Jeff, he wants it out. So I'm like, oh, okay.
And a guy lets you put a pontoon on his pond, you're going to listen.
For sure.
You know, he's like, oh, well, I'd rather you take it out. It's like, okay.
100%.
So then, anyway, so we are monkeys fucking this football.
Don't forget, too, the ice shelf that we were sitting on, all it literally was doing as we were pushing this thing is then it would sort of sink the ice down into the water.
That's what I'm getting to.
Cool.
So we'd push the pontoon on top of the ice. Cool. We're good. And it was so heavy that it wouldn't break the ice because it was so thick. What it would do is it'd just shove it underneath the pontoon. So as Cal and I are going, 1, 2, 3, then we're like getting it 3 to 5 feet.
Maybe.
And then that huge ice shelf would just smoke you right in the shins and the knees. Yeah. Thank you, First Light, for those waders because they have the little pad in the knees. Huge.
It actually made a difference.
Huge. Dude, the amount of times I've just gone doink on like a 1/4 inch of ice to the knee in waders, uninsulated wear, is just like, ah.
Actually, it was pretty funny because Joey started having phantom water in his waders.
It's true. I was so scared. I was like, oh, it just ruined the pair of waders.
Yeah.
Great.
He kept smashing his knees into the ice shelf, just like me. And then eventually he was like, dude, definitely cut it open now. He's like, there's water in here. We got done, and he's like, I don't know, dude, I'm dry. I was like, what the?
Yeah. No, thank God.
But the water
reach. Yeah, the phantom water. It's happened so many times. You know,
I
where
get
you
it
just,
too,
where you
man.
just doink the waders against something sharp, and you're like, oh God.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden your leg gets a little bit colder. Like, no,
It's that sinking feeling.
no.
There's another pair of waders. The thing is, you've done it so many times. I thought you would have known for sure. But and now, are you also kicking the camera again?
Yep.
It is a thing.
Yep.
So you can't do a full podcast. Why does the camera look like it's tilted, Carter?
It's not.
Okay.
I thought so too.
Maybe the lens cap's not on there all the way, so that's something we should talk about. But
Hey,
anyway,
go to the YouTube channel and see if it's tilted.
there you go. Thank you for the plug, Carter. So what we were having to do actually, because of that ice shelf, is every time we'd push it, we'd have to kind of like push it and then like step almost back. And then the ice shelf there, we had to actually jump on and try to break. So this is not a fast process. We're pushing the fucking pontoon 3 feet at a time.
So
And
angry. So angry as you tell
And
the
then
story.
every time it moves 3 feet, then you have to spend like a minute breaking all the ice that just smashed into your shins.
Yeah, so you don't cut through your waders.
Right, which you already did on accident when you smashed your shin into it.
Yeah. Every 3 feet.
And so the best part about all this is that me and Joey go out there. We spend like, what do you think, 4 or 5 hours the first day pushing it, trying to get it somewhere.
Yeah.
And the most demoralizing part of that was when we were done and you went and you stood back and you see how far we've pushed it.
It was bad.
So bad.
Well,
dude.
like you get more towards the middle of the pond, and you look at the pontoon, and you're like,
dude,
you're
I'm
on the
not-
deeper part of the pond, and you're standing without the ice crack, and you're like, oh shit. And if you know the shallower you go, the thicker the ice, and the closer you are to the cattails, the thicker the ice, and it's just like we're pushing it right next to the cattails. I'm like, oh man. So we pushed it right back to it, and then
dude,
pulls all that
really
against
quick.
the tree.
really quick. This was really, it was a very funny moment for me because we're back there and we had probably spent like 3 hours, pretending to be offensive linemen. And then you get out of that hole of water where it is freezing cold and you're smashing your shins, and you step out where Joey's talking about in the middle of the lake and you look at it. And if we're measuring the amount of space we need to go, the amount of length we need to go in thirds, I would say we were very safely still in the first sixth of how far we had to go.
It was pretty demoralizing.
So once we saw that, then we weren't done yet. So we decided we were going to come back the next day with another 300 feet of extension cord because the other 300 wasn't enough yet.
It wasn't even close.
And we were going to use big lag bolts, like Joey said, and try to pull this thing all the way over on top of the ice, all the way over to the landing. And so, needless to say, we went back the next day, and that definitely didn't work.
No.
So actually, we kind of ended up with a happy medium. We figured something out a little bit. So we were able to turn the pontoon around, and then where we kind of had it, there was a tree right by shore. So we were able to push the pontoon as far up into the cattails as we could with just ourselves. And then we did use the pullsall, which ended up being a huge lifesaver. And we were able to pullsall the pontoon up, and it actually got up pretty much on top of the ice. And I think the very front of the pontoons are in the water about 2 inches.
Yeah.
So they're not in the water too much.
Here's the best part of this entire story.
It's 55 degrees out.
It's 55 degrees out, and I went to go see if we should set an
Ice spread.
ice spread, bunch of sleeper shells and full bodies, and probably pound some silhouettes into the ice. And it's wide open. There's no ice. Completely wide open. So now I'm thinking, do we push it out of the cattails and put it on the trailer now? I don't know. We just went through all that bullshit. And it's like, dude, look, do you think we should go put it on the trailer?
Holy shit. I did not see this coming as a plot twist to this part
Yeah.
part of the story.
I feel
dude.
like we should go put it on the trailer.
Oh no, bro. When?
I don't know.
I don't know. Me and you are going to have a separate conversation. This is literally the first time hearing about this idea. So it's funny that we're having this conversation right now, but I guess
I don't
we
know.
could talk about it.
Let me give a little quick tip to all of you guys though. That Polesol was $269, and it can pull 1,500 pounds like nothing. Thing's not even working. I was floored because the guy who lives there, he's like, "Hey, I watched that pontoon come off. You're gonna need an electric winch." I'm like, ugh. You know, I'm thinking, okay, I'm looking up how much they cost, like $200 to $400. I'm like, but I'm gonna leave it here. You know, like I don't want to do it just to take it off and put it on once a year. You know, I'm thinking to myself, what else can I do? And I look up electric winch, and it comes up as a Polesol. There's a battery operated one, which don't buy that one. It was like rated for 1,000 pounds for a minute for like the battery, and then you have to charge it again. I'm like, no, like electrical cord, you know, for sure. And
you just need 600 feet of it.
Yeah, you just need 600 feet of cable. Yeah, not possible. But the thing's like this big and is so sick. And I'm thinking, I can use this anywhere, and I don't have to mount it to the trailer or anything. Oh, it's sick.
Yeah.
Get a Polesol. And I saw Hunter Dillon, who kills so many deer, by the way. What the hell, Dillon? Hunter Dillon. And they were hanging a deer and gutting a deer from a Polesol.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is genius. How many times, well, the amount of times where I had to go like this with my dad, like hang it from the rafters of the pole barn, like, hold it. I'm like, just like leverage. And I could have just hung this and just pushed a button.
Right.
And just drag up this corpse. So much easier.
Dude, the way you said that, drag up this corpse.
No, but like dead weight.
Right.
You know, like a big deer gutted is how much, Carter? How heavy?
300 pounds, 500 pounds.
No, not that much.
300 pounds.
I bet you it's like 200.
I was going to say 200.
Yeah.
A big buck?
Yeah, gutted.
Yeah,
Oh,
gutted.
gutted? I
Yeah,
don't know,
no,
man.
yeah, you gut it where you shoot it, and then you drag it.
Well, right. I just don't know that would still be. Anyway.
Yeah, depending on the
Could be
rack, I
more than
guess.
200, yeah.
You know, if it's like most Minnesotans shooting a spike with some blue tongue or CWD,
Shit, that might be 100 pounds, bro.
it might be 100 pounds.
Tongue or some CWD.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of them nice Minnesota deer, huh? An old
Right.
spike buck with CWD.
Speaking of, CWD and blue tongue,
Yeah.
let me tell you about our other sponsor, RW Coolidge. Has absolutely nothing to do with that. But I tell you what he does have to do with really good leather goods. And
True
last
that.
time I talked about the discount code that I wasn't supposed to talk about, Jackson40, but I got the go ahead. Jackson40, get yourself 25% off.
Nope. 40% off.
40% off.
Otherwise, it
It's
wouldn't
in
be
the code.
Jackson 40.
It's in the code.
Yep.
And if you're watching on YouTube,
Actually, that's incredible that you just did that.
and if you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, it's on the screen. So
You can't make this shit easier for the guy. I mean, it's just Jackson 40 for 25% off. Dude, I love that about
Fight
you.
me.
But for real though, that's an incredible discount code because the stuff that's there is insane. The Jackson stuff, it's super nice.
it's super nice.
Yeah.
He also came out with some really nice luggage. Oh my God, this luggage. Like, you just have to go to rwcoolidge.com and check this stuff out because I look classy traveling now.
With that duffel bag,
That duffel bag, dude.
that's Jackson. Yeah, 40% off those bags.
I look
right now.
good
Yeah.
walking in there after a 9-hour drive. Let me tell you.
Right.
With the
They
gray
think,
sweatpants.
they think he's high class, bro.
They think I'm high class. Little do they know.
Right. Wrong.
Ain't.
Think it ain't, bro.
I'm NCAA.
Think it ain't.
No class at all. Brett.
That's a Rob thing, right?
That's a Rob thing.
I'm NCAA.
I'm
No
NCAA,
class
bro.
at all, dude. Bro, what was the acronym that your dad kept using? SMH.
Yeah.
Because he thought it was so much hate, right?
Oh my God. Yeah, Rob on Facebook would say SMH, and
On everything.
I'm like, what are you saying, Dad? Like, why are you saying shake my head? And he goes, no, it stands for so much hate. I'm like, but that also doesn't make sense. Like, like what's going on?
Dude, I shit you not. Like, I'd post a picture of, like, me and my mom and family. You know? Like, this would be, like, a family picture from Christmas. Rob Vassallo comments. First comment. SMH. I'm like, what do you mean, SMH, dude? Like, this is a picture of my family.
So much hate is worse than shake my head.
Well, okay. I think that the so much hate thing was like a big funny joke, right? Because you guys always said, like, didn't Cole always scream like hate?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Cole, this guy we were buddies with in high school a bunch, Joey still talks to him quite a bit. He would just run around screaming hate.
Well,
hate!
And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure I told this story on the podcast. That Cole and Ben changed my life. And what they did is they brought out who I really am. And that's very
They got
sarcastic.
Joey to try drugs. And what happened? So see what happened was... So I moved into their drug house.
Time ago. Holy shit. No, this new kid at my school, his name is Cole. He's still one of my best friends. And he goes, like he's brand new. This is like week 2 of being at a new school, and he was homeschooled before this.
Yeah.
Makes so much sense.
Totally.
And this girl, like, we went to a Christian school, and she goes, does anyone have any prayers today? And she goes, yeah. My mom got into a really bad bicycle accident. She goes into crazy detail. And what happened in the biking accident, she went over the handlebars, and it's like the road bike where your feet are locked in.
Yeah.
So something got stuck in the front wheel, and she went over the front of the bike and broke her hip or her pelvic bone. Something just brutal. And after this whole thing is done, Cole just screams at the top of his lung, "Oh, good!" And no one knows this kid. And I look at him, and I'm just like, oh. Like, this is serious prayer time. Okay, everybody, let's pray for Jessica's mom. Oh, good! She broke her hip? Good! I'm just like, oh, my God. Ugh. And so then that translated into, like, everything that's good is bad. Everything that's bad, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we'd say, oh, that's so much hate, it's like, it's a good thing, you know? Oh, I hate that. You know, oh, so much hate. And so Rob latched onto it, and he's like, SMH.
Shaking my head, bro. Shaking my head, dude. He was shaking his head at everything for like 2 years until Joey finally was like, why do you keep commenting SMH? The best part was I was there when you asked him.
Yeah.
So I'm there, and Joey's like, Dad, what do you keep commenting SMH for? He's like, what do you mean? And he's like, what do you mean? Why are you shaking your head at everything we're doing? And he's like, SMH, bud. So much hate.
Oh.
And Joey's like, that's not better. And the acronym is for shaking my head. He's like, oh, well, you know, he doesn't care. He didn't give a shit. NCAA, no class at all, that dude.
Rob is the king of acronyms.
He really is.
Makes his own acronyms.
Yeah.
He was like, LOL, laugh out loud. He would take that as something completely different and, like, use it as such and expect other people to understand what he's talking about.
Yeah.
No explanation.
Dude, he made up nicknames for every single one of our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he would call them that.
Yep.
And nobody else would call them that.
Yeah.
But just Rob would call them that.
Nobody ever called you C.
Nope. Nobody ever called Nathaniel K. Special K.
Yeah.
No one ever called him that.
I think he started Thanman.
He called Wallen meat.
That's funny. He called Wallen meat because he was so thick. Meat! Just every time he walked through the door.
Yeah.
He's like, what's up, Rob? And he's like, what the fuck?
Dude, like
but
I said,
you can't
bro,
get mad at him for it because
that
he's
guy,
like so excited to see you, but he just gives you the most fucked up nickname you've ever heard in your life.
NCAA, bro. No class at all with that dude, I'm telling you.
Oh.
That's incredible.
Oh, Bobby.
Yeah, we have some good fun stories, dude, with that dude. That's for damn sure.
I think it's about high time we get him on the podcast again.
Yeah, we'll have to get him back on here.
Well, because he's never been on video.
True.
Either. And so people can really understand where I come from.
True.
Do you think I look like my dad?
Oh, yeah.
You think, a lot?
Quite a bit, yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. I don't think I look like him at all. Like,
Yeah,
the only
right.
thing I can think of is the goatee.
No, you got a lot of similarities.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah. I think I've actually told people, if you want to know what Joey's going to look like when he's older, just look at his dad.
That's pretty big praise, dude.
You're going to look like your dad.
Shit look good.
He's not ugly.
He's not ugly.
Nope. not an ugly old man.
Tell you what, if you can get remarried in your late 50s, doing good.
Well, a lot
into
of
a woman like Judy, shit, you're winning. That
A lot of guys get married in their late 50s, bro. I mean,
yeah, but
you kind of get to like slim pickings, and then you're like, oh, we are hanging out? That's cool. What if we just did that all the time? I feel like people get married so easily in their late 50s. Because it's actually really funny you bring this up, because my boss's dad just got married for his 4th time.
holy shit,
Yeah, dude. Like, when you're old, you're just like, oh, we're both here?
your boss's dad.
Oh, yeah.
So is he
It's his
80?
stepdad. Yeah.
Is he
No,
80?
dude, he's like 65.
Damn. Did you go to the wedding?
Me.
Yeah.
To my boss's stepdad's wedding?
Yeah.
Nope. It was in Florida. Definitely didn't go. Really funny though, because I just feel like, but no, I mean, like, Rob did good. Like, obviously I love Judy. I'm just saying, Rob's not an ugly guy.
Backtracking.
I just think
Digging a hole. Digging your hole.
Okay, sounds good. Let's just move on. I like it. NCAA for me, no class at all. My bad.
So anyway, off of that tangent,
Yeah,
go check out their duffel bags.
Jackson 40 for 25% off.
All right.
All right. No. So
All right.
let's talk about end of season,
Mm-hmm.
because it just wrapped up, and
Today.
it was kind of a sad end of this season a little bit with the weather. So
It's pretty bullshit.
it's 51.
Hey,
55
man.
degrees on Christmas.
First of all, we're ending on a Wednesday. Stop that. Second of all, it's 50 degrees.
Right.
It's 50 degrees. We got stale birds. They're not even out of Canada yet. First of all, you know what? Let me talk about this. We put out that clip of Nick Johnson on the podcast talking about, oh, what you're seeing is 5% of what's left. And all these people are like, you're wrong. You're
Right.
wrong.
Right.
You're wrong. So many people texted me and said, is he dumb? And I said, yes. Yes, Nick is dumb. And I just appreciate all of you on TikTok that were like, you are so wrong, Nick. And I'm like, thank you. Because he looked at me like I was insane.
Well, yeah, you guys were arguing about it.
Yeah, we were arguing about it.
Right.
Yeah. I let him talk about it, and people were like, why didn't you jump down his throat? I was like, that's where Carter cut the clip.
Yeah.
It's right when I was
If
like,
you listen to the full
Nick!
podcast, it's obviously like you guys talk about it more.
Cut the clip there so everybody thought you agreed.
There you go.
Then they commented.
Right. And they're like, do you really believe this, Joey? I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Listen to the damn podcast. Because I was like,
Damn, that shows
Nick!
how many people didn't listen to the podcast, dude.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Because literally, right after that, Carter, I was like, Nick!
Yeah, you yell at them.
I yelled at him. I'm like,
Right.
no. You have no idea what you're talking about, Wisconsin boy now.
Yeah.
Moved to Wisconsin, doesn't know anything about Wisconsin or Minnesota waterfowl. You're dumb. And that's okay. It's okay, Nick. All you care about is geese. That's it. Now you do you,
Mm-hmm.
You just had a baby, not getting a whole lot of sleep. I get it. You're delirious. You're also insane. So write that down. Put it in your pocket.
100%. Honey P.
Honey
as the
P.
kids say now.
But our
P.
our end of season has just been trashed. I would say that our season in Minnesota has been bad since a week before duck closing, so a week before Thanksgiving. Like, it's just like I don't even feel a need to go out.
Right.
One, because work is so heavy, but then also it's not worth it. I might see a couple of geese and they're not coming.
Pretty crazy.
They're playing patty cake.
Yeah.
Did you go
been
out with
rough.
it within this last week before it closed or nothing?
Nothing. I haven't hunted since Arkansas. It's been pretty bad.
Same.
There's been some geese around, but they're not patternable. There's no rhyme or reason. The only person that I've seen going out is Heinz, and he's
Mhm.
been scrounging for him too.
Out west, I went out because there was like 2,000 birds on the local lake, and like they're huntable, but they go to the one field that nobody can hunt. So we tried to traffic them. Did not work at all.
Sure.
2,000 birds just flew 100 yards above us, didn't give a look at the spread, and landed 200 yards past us. Very frustrating.
How far was the roost?
2 miles?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So did you get lunch lined, or they just?
Oh, completely.
Damn.
We had one single come into our spread, they missed, and then from there, just lunch line the whole time.
That
Damn.
sucks.
Not a look, not a wing beat, nothing.
Did you bring your gun?
Yep.
So the one day you were actually going to shoot?
Yep, I brought my gun and my camera. Just didn't have the SD cards for my
Yeah.
camera.
So all you could do is shoot a gun.
Yep, and couldn't shoot the gun.
Couldn't even shoot the gun.
Yep.
Dang.
That sucks, dude. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I was actually out driving quite a bit, just throughout the day, and trying to just kind of keep an eye to the sky just to see when these birds would get up and move, because a lot of the days that I didn't end up hunting, I was kind of out and moving pretty early, like 7:30, or whether it was work or I was just running errands and stuff. And man, I legitimately saw most of the birds I saw flying at like anywhere from like the 11 o'clock to 12:30 window.
Yeah.
Midday. And I watched a lot of birds too, just like get up on the Mississippi and then go to another water spot that was still open. So not even going to a field. And when it's 51 degrees in December, I guess you just don't have to do what you don't have to do.
And I think we should really get a couple people on the podcast we've never had on. I think we should get a biologist, and then I think we should get a DNR officer.
Yeah.
On the podcast. And I want to understand why these birds are doing what they're doing. Because you hear of like water jumping, right? You have to eat, So when they're water jumping, it's usually warm and it's sunny. And so
yeah, it's hard to figure it out.
And so are they eating invertebrates in the water? Are they eating fish? Like what are they, like just geese specifically, because you see them dunking and their white butts go in the air. So like, are they eating stuff in the river? What are they eating? Because they're obviously not eating corn because they're not going out to the field. So like, what are they eating in December when it's warm in the river?
It's a really good question.
Or are they even eating? I don't know. So that's something that I want to know for a biologist so that I can understand, okay, in the years of El Nino like we had this year, this is the first Christmas in forever that I remember not having snow on the ground. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
And did we get 4 inches of rain in 3 days?
We did.
Yeah, it was a lot of rain.
I was like, I'm blown away, man. Truly. Like, I told Annie, this was crazy. My wife and I were sitting on the couch on Christmas Eve, and it was probably like 9, I think it was about 9 p.m.
Pouring, dude.
Bro, it's 55 degrees. We had baked dinner. It was something cooked in the oven, and my oven lets off a good amount of heat, man. So it gets hot in the house. So like whenever I cook at like 450 plus, I crack a window.
Yeah.
So dude, we had finished and it was still a little warm, and it's so warm outside that it wasn't cooling the house down really enough.
Yeah.
So we had sitting on the couch, both windows open, rain pouring down on Christmas Eve, 54 degrees outside. And I told my wife, sitting there, I'm like, I have literally never in my life imagined that on Christmas Eve, you and I would be sitting here watching a Christmas movie, with windows open and rain pouring. I told her, I was like, I feel like we literally moved to Arkansas.
That same week, Maddie had the cats out on the patio the whole time. It's warm. They don't care.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Are you sure you want that in the podcast so you have cats?
Yeah, I don't care. Nice
sure?
cats are nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Carter like cats, dude.
Yeah.
And that's cool, dude.
You want to fight about it?
No.
You do you. No, I'll fight you.
Okay. I'll race you.
It won't be good. But speaking of fighting, let me tell you about our other sponsor, SoundGear. And when people ring my bell in the blind, man, I'm going to fight them. And so that's why we started wearing SoundGear. I don't want to sound like Rob. What? What was that? Speak up. You're not enunciating.
Right, SMH.
SMH, dude. SMH.
When you can't hear, you can't understand what people are saying.
And when I have to repeat myself 3 times for my father to hear me, I turn into NCAA. No class at all.
Correct.
No respect. That's unacceptable. So if you want to respect your parents, go get yourself some SoundGear Phantoms, because you want to protect your hearing. You want to respect your elders.
Yeah.
On the YouTube
You know what I mean?
video, there's a phone number you can call to get money off.
$200 off, actually.
Unbelievable transition, by the way.
I had no idea where you were going.
And speaking of transitions, we just want to thank you guys for listening to this podcast. We really appreciate it. Make sure that you check us out on all our other channels. Great job on the outro music, Carter. Very impressed by you. And Carter is going to work on all of his accents for the next week. And then for the next 6 weeks, I would like for us to quiz Carter weekly on his accents and see if we've made any improvements. I think it's going to be a huge hit.
I think it's going to be really bad.
For sure. So thank you for listening, by the way.
But, dude, honestly, one more thing before we stop the podcast.